This was the scoreboard at halftime in Game 7 of the Phoenix Suns vs Dallas Mavericks in the 2022 NBA playoffs. How did that happen? Because one player's trash talk went horribly wrong. But more to that in a second. From Michael Jordan losing to a regular guy to the Miami Heat losing a championship because they talk too much. These are NBA moments where trash talking completely backfired. And sometimes players should first win the game and then open their mouth, just like Grant Williams. Because on March 6, 2023, the Celtics played against the Cavaliers. And with under 1 second remaining, the game was tied, but Williams was fouled and got the chance to win the game with 2 free throws. Donovan Mitchell talked to him and he coldly replied, "I'll make them both." Yeah, not only did he miss both free throws, the Celtics also lost the game 118 to 114 in overtime. That's just embarrassing. But not as embarrassing as the Phoenix Suns, where this happened. In 2022, the Suns faced the Mavericks in the playoffs. They won the first 2 games and were feeling confident. And while they were on their way to winning Game 5, Devin Booker decided to talk trash to Luka Doncic. Well, that didn't sit too well with Luka. The Mavs went on to win the next game, and so the series went to a Game 7. And yeah, just see for yourself. By halftime, the Mavericks already had a 30-point lead with a 57-27 scoreboard. Doncic had 27 points after the second quarter, meaning he outscored the entire Phoenix Suns team. Booker ended the game with a terrible 11 points and they lost. What does that teach us? Never talk trash to Luka Doncic, because he will always get the last laugh. Unlike our next player, because, believe it or not, Michael Jordan himself once lost in a one-on-one to a nerd because he talked trash. In 2003, Jordan held a basketball camp in Las Vegas for $15,000, where participants had the chance to duel him. So basically they were just a bunch of old heads who played Jordan for fun. In the end, Michael was toying with these guys, beating one after another. It looked like a warm-up for him and he constantly teased them and talked a bit trash. Until a CEO named John Rogers stood up. Jordan was a 40-year-old, 6'6", 6-time NBA champion. Rogers was 45, standing 6 feet and averaged 3.5 points in his college basketball career. But when he took on Michael, he didn't think about his disadvantage or MJ's trash talk. They played a game 2-3 and Jordan instantly started talking. "Don't be mad at me, I'm just good," he said. And before he could even finish his next sentence, Rogers attacked him with a quick drive to the right and got the layup. Next play, he drives to the left and scores again. Being up 2-0, John misses his next shot, and after Jordan hit the next 2 jumpers from beyond the line, Rogers thought it was over, but MJ said the score was 2-2. And so after MJ missed his next shot, Rogers did this. Oh no! John Rogers, a casual hooper, won a match against Jordan because he was too busy talking trash. Come on Michael, you can't get humiliated like that. Alright, we still have some insane trash talking moments to go, like when one player almost got kicked out of the NBA. So watch until the end, but now let's stick with Jordan for a second. Because normally if you talk trash to him, he destroyed you. And one rookie had to learn that the hard way. When Reggie Miller joined the league, he was playing an exhibition game against Michael Jordan, and Chuck Person, who was on his team, said that Reggie was killing him and that he should talk some trash. And well, Miller thought it was a good idea, so he went to MJ and said, "Michael, who do you think you are? There's a new kid in town." And afterwards, this happened.
In his head, so at half, I have 10 and he has 4 points, right? I'm doing all this talking, he's like, okay. Into the game in the second half, he ended up with 44, and I ended up with 12.
Damn, Jordan outscored him 40-2. That's a statement. But Reggie Miller also made a statement once, because he destroyed a trash talker so bad that he earned the nickname Knicks Killer. See, actor and film director Spike Lee is probably the biggest New York Knicks fan out there, and every time someone goes up against his team, he starts talking trash. The only problem, most of the time it ends up in a disaster. For example, when he talked smack to Scottie Pippen, he completely humiliated the Knicks' best player, Patrick Ewing. But the craziest incident happened in the playoffs. In 1994, Reggie Miller's Indiana Pacers faced Lee's New York Knicks, and in Game 5, after the two exchanged heated words, Miller scored 25 points in the fourth quarter, leading the Pacers to a comeback win and making the famous choke gesture. But the next year it got even worse. The teams met again in the 1995 playoffs, and the Knicks were looking to win Game 1 as they had a 6-point lead with 18 seconds left. Until Reggie Miller decided to score 8 points in 9 seconds.
That is short of the record for both teams in a playoff game. Miller for three, and he got it. Reggie Miller with a clutch tray, and it's 105-102. And a steal, Miller retreats to the three-point line. Orlando last year.
Hitting back-to-back threes, getting the foul, making both free throws, winning the game and later also the series just because of Spike Lee's words? Now that's trash talking gone horribly wrong. But now I think it's time to talk about the team that lost a championship because they were talking trash. In 2011, the Miami Heat faced the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. Miami looked stacked as LeBron James just joined them and built a big three alongside Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. So they were confident, maybe a bit too much though. After Game 4, the series was tied and Dirk Nowitzki coughed and said that he felt sick during the post-game press conference. And instead of keeping quiet, LeBron and Wade made fun of it.
Oh, did y'all hear me cough? I think I'm sick.
Little did they know that this was the turning point where everything went wrong for the Heat. They lost both Game 5 and Game 6 and Nowitzki won his first championship, while LeBron and Wade were back to square one just because they talked trash and didn't take it seriously. But LeBron for his part learned his lesson. In fact, he himself destroyed NBA players later on who made the same mistake that he made. Just like Klay Thompson for example, who would later regret his trash talking to LeBron. Because in 2016, LeBron's Cavaliers faced the Golden State Warriors in the finals, and after a Game 4 loss to LeBron, the Warriors led 3-1, and in a post-game interview, James said, "I'm all cool with the competition, I'm all fine with that, but some of the words that came out of his mouth were a little bit overboard," referring to Draymond Green. Klay Thompson responded by saying,
I guess his feelings just got hurt.
Which LeBron just responded with the best villain laugh possible.
No, I'm not. What did you say, Klay said?
Klay said, I guess he just got his feelings hurt.
And well, I guess the rest is history. LeBron went on to annihilate the Warriors, winning the next 3 games, scoring 41 points in 2 of these games and winning the championship for Cleveland. In this case, Klay Thompson's trash talk horribly backfired. Alright, we only have 3 more stories to go, so stick until the end, because now things are about to get funny. When Yao-Ming joined the NBA, everyone was hyped to see a 6'7" player running the court. Well, everyone except Shaquille O'Neal. Instead, he had some disrespectful words for him.
𝐾𝐿, whatever your name is, you want some of Shaq food? Come get it. I'll be waiting for you.
Now, while this trash talk was rather funny, it backfired in multiple ways for Shaq. On January 17, 2003, the two centers had their first matchup against each other. Shaq scored a dominant 31 points and 13 rebounds, but Yao-Ming came out on top. He blocked Shaq 3 times, ending up with 10 points, 10 rebounds, 6 blocks and a win for the Rockets. Furthermore, O'Neal had to apologize since many people thought his comments were racist and disrespectful towards the Chinese language and culture. So if you don't want to be disrespectful, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But Shaq got away with trash talking relatively easy compared to our number 2. You might or might not know Skip Bayless. He's a sports commentator and literally made a career off of talking trash. His goal is to make statements so bold and controversial that you can't ignore it. For example, Skip is most known for constantly critiquing LeBron James. Even if there is zero meaningful evidence, he will say anything to get clicks. And when LeBron failed to win a championship in his first year with the Miami Heat, this was his golden hour. But one time, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban had enough of his superficial talk and completely exposed him.
You guys like to talk in complete generalities where no one can question you, right? You don't ever use facts, you don't ever use substance. How do you think we defended that? Why do you think he was standing out there?
You didn't have to defend it.
Oh, right, so no matter what we did, he was just going to stand there and do nothing.
Skip looked completely lost. Cuban proved that he had very little knowledge about the game of basketball. And even though this didn't end his career, everyone now knew that Bailey's wasn't a real sports analyst, but rather a clickbaiting entertainer. So his trash talk was completely dismantled. Alright, for our last moment, savage is the right word to describe it. Because when Paul Pierce was in the NBA, he was a trash talker who could back it up. In this case, the Celtics were facing the Pacers in the 2003 playoffs. Pierce was guarded by Al Harrington, who decided to mock him. He said that he can shoot and dared him to hit the three. Spoiler alert, it backfired quickly. Damn, that was kinda nasty. But James Harden also did some nasty things. From breaking ankles to spending $1.5 million in a strip club. If you want to know more about it, check out this video. These are 15 times James Harden shocked the world. Seriously, just click on the screen. I'll see you there.